Hey, what's going on everyone? Darren Pritchard from Pritchard's Window Cleaning, and today we're going to show you how to replace the mesh from your window screen. Before you get started, there's a few tools that you're going to need. So the first tool, I don't know what it's called, but this is going to put the spline, it's going to help you groove that spline back into the frame of the screen. You can buy this from Lowe's. It's relatively inexpensive, maybe $7, $8, but you need one of these. Next, you're going to need something to be able to take the old spline out of the frame. I just use a small screwdriver. If you have something else handy, just so you can get into the corner, get underneath the old spline and lift it out so you can pull the spline off. A sharp knife, that's so you can cut the excess mesh away from the frame. There's a few other things that you're going to need. I'm going to just show them on the screen now, and in the description of this video I'm going to show where you can buy them from. Alright, let's get to it. So we've got the screen here. You can see it's coming away up here. It's old, it's ripped, so this wants to be replaced. Alright, so the first thing that we're going to do is we've got to get the old spline off the screen. So I'm going to take my screwdriver, I'm going to get into one corner, get it out slightly, get rid of that. Now the screen will just pop out, the old screen will just come out easy. Okay, and what I'm doing here is I am just pre-measuring the spline. So you're going to need 2 pieces of this length. So cut this and then use that piece to measure another piece. And then you're going to need to measure the other side. That's if it isn't a square. This is a rectangle, so I need 2 different size pieces. Now I'm just going to roll the mesh over the frame. You want to give yourself kind of like a border. Notice how it doesn't fit perfectly onto the frame. It's a couple of inches over it. And then you're just going to go around and cut it out, just so it's a lot easier to work with, a lot easier to manage and move around. Now this tool has 2 different ends to it. One end you'll see, it kind of is rounded. It points outwards, doesn't it? Then the other, it kind of divots in. It's got a groove in there, you see? They have 2 different purposes. So I'm going to pre-groove this screen into the tracks of the screen. And I'm going to use this end. See how it divots out, pokes out? We're going to use that to pre-groove the mesh into the frame. Now we're going to get the spline. And with the spline, we're going to use the other side, the bit that divots in, because that's going to wrap around the spline. It's going to sit nicely on top so that I don't kind of go off the edge. That's going to keep me on track. So grab hold of the spline here. Don't try and do it all in one motion. Hasn't worked for me in the past, so just kind of go along like this. You'll notice it's a little bit too long, but that's okay. Pull it back slightly, cut it. Roll it in. And I like to hold this part, the outer part, because if I hold this, it means that it's pulling the center part nice and tight. So I always keep my hand kind of along the edge. So I'm looking a little bit loose on the screen up here. So again, I'm going to pull it nice and tight, make the groove, and it'll pull it. Maybe it's, I don't know if it's coming through on camera, but it's pulling this little bit nice and tight. Hey, if you're liking the video so far, it took a lot of time to make this video. Even though the quality isn't the best, it still took me a while. So please drop a thank you in the comment section just to show your appreciation. I'm going to continue making videos like this. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of the video. So now we're going to cut off the excess. So I'm going to get myself in there to begin with. Okay, I want to show you a close-up of cutting this. So just imagine that there is excess mesh on this screen. And what you want to do is get your knife in that groove between the spline and the frame. And you're going to use that groove to guide the knife so you're not all over the place. You don't want it on this side. You don't want it on this side because then you're going to be cutting the mesh on the inside of the screen. You don't want to do that. So use the groove to guide the knife. See how the knife is being guided all the way down. Nice. Notice where I'm running the knife along the inside there. Be careful, there's been plenty of times when I have just caught the middle of the screen and you have to start all over again because you've now cut the screen. Yeah, you're just going to work your way around every section. Now, fully cut off each side like this. See, just cut that piece off. Don't try and keep it all intact so you can do it all in one. No, you want to keep your workstation as clean and tidy as possible. This is potentially the most important part because if you slip with that knife, okay, you could cut yourself, but you could also damage the mesh and you're going to have to start this process all over again. So cut off each side, get rid of it, get out of sight, and just work your way all the way around. And there you have it. If you followed the step-by-step, you will have a nice looking screen with brand new mesh that is springy. Again, thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope that you found some use out of it, that you've learned something. Drop a thank you in the comment section if you found this useful.